Hey Capricorn, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading, general reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline on this one, or even if I do, feel free to check your other major placements. Over here on the YouTube side of things, we're going to be doing the Oracle decks. I liked that last time, so we're going to keep doing that. And then over on Vimeo, I have the more traditional tarot spread for you. All right, so we have a little grouping of crows, Urban Crow Oracle. That's funny. A lot of people back in their memories here. So we have memory. Crows, corvids have really good memory. So these red ones are these sort of inflamed memories of where something intense happened, right? So whenever something intense happens, we have the adrenaline and whatever, and that can really solidify our memory and make it actually a little more accurate if we don't end up suppressing it somehow. So so really intense memories at each one of these places, and maybe some of these were kind. Libra got this card as well, but this was more about triggers. So really intense memories, very very clear memories. I would say, right, every time we remember something, we handle it a little bit. We sort of handle it with our little grimy fingers of memory. So memory is like the, what do you call that? The general circulation of the library. Those books that are often checked out end up a little bit grimy, some dog-eared pages, a little bit dirtier. But then when we go to our special collections, we wear our gloves and we have to have like special permission and leave our ID at the front and then go, you know, and then someone gathers our request for us and brings it to us. So those memories, memories that we often revisit can be sort of touched and fiddled with. And so depending on what mood we're at, and there's a lot of research on this, I'm not just making this up, depending on what mood we're in when we fondle or touch these memories or bring them back up again, we start to color them and start to remember them in different ways and layer tones onto them. So rather than a photograph, they end up being more of a work of art. So for some reason that's coming up right here, memories, and that's not to say all of these memories are, I was going to say, like, the memories can be really accurate, but then they can also be, and I hate this. I hate this fact. I hate that it's like, that your memories, especially ones that you revisit, can end up being a little bit skewed. That doesn't seem fair to me. They're my memories, right? They have to be true. So anyway, we're dealing with memories here, and for some reason that came up. Oh, so we also have perspective. So looking at something that happened in your past from a different perspective, seeing it very differently than how you have seen it in the past, right? And maybe that's where that comes in, where, you know, how you've handled a memory and how you've dealt with a memory in the past might actually need some, I wouldn't say reworking, but a new perspective on it, a new take on it, or opening up to the possibility that you might not have seen that with the, you know, bird's eye overview that maybe you thought you did, right? Especially memories from our childhood. You know, we're very much in our perspective, and we're very much seeing things from the perspective of a child, of someone who is both innocent and someone who lacks experience and perspective on the situation. So you may be being asked to go revisit a memory and find a different perspective on it. Look at it from different angles, from the different viewpoints. I'm not asking you to give up your viewpoint, but just, you know, spend 5 minutes looking at it from the viewpoint of other characters and other people that are in that memory, or other possible ways. So I find that to be like a good, very non-threatening exercise, is just looking at an event or something that happened or something from some other perspective, and just suspending my own for a second and putting myself in someone else's shoes, commit to it, like really commit to it for just a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it can really open up some things, and also helps you prevent the feeling of like looking at something from someone else's perspective as a sense of a loss of self and some sort of fear in there. And then we have, I feel like the same crow is here. Look at how similar they are. Distraction. So I find that really interesting, right? So this crow, and perhaps these memories are distracting you from actually something really important. Or maybe there's some aspect of the memory that has you ignoring something, has you not seeing something that's actually really important back there. So there is something important back there that's calling you to look at it with a different perspective. And there's something about it that's like, are you getting distracted by these memories, or is your perspective a distraction? Like, you're not seeing clearly what's actually going on because you're paying attention to something else. So going back to a memory and maybe ignoring the part of the memory or ignoring the part where someone's like yelling at you or something, and what's going on in the background, paying attention to what's going on in the background, not necessarily the thing that's making the most noise and grabbing the most attention, but there's something going on in the background that you may want to pay attention to. Not necessarily the loudest, but yeah, so this distraction too, if the memories are too, distraction can be so useful. Like, we want to be present and stuff, but sometimes things are a little difficult to be present with because we don't have the skills, we don't have the inner equilibrium to really be present with something. So we can distract ourselves from things, but maybe this is something that you got distracted from and you need to go back and revisit. All right, this is funny. I think who got these cards recently? Gemini got these cards. Oh, there's a lot of familiar cards here that have come out. Lullaby. This is, I feel like this is the mind here is distracting from something that the soul knows. There's some sort of deep feeling. There's some sort of resonance within you. And I always see this as like turning off the mind. The mind is great. The mind's super important, right? We don't need to like have a lobotomy in order to be spiritual. So, but it can, right, futz with our memory. It can be a little domineering, right? It makes a great servant, but a terrible master. So we're going more into our feelings, like forget what you saw in a way too, because this is like, forget what you saw and remember how you felt. Forget the thing that was really obvious. There was something that was very obvious on the surface, but there might have been something where you felt like something was different than what it was, than what you were telling yourself, than what your mind was making up that it was. So there's a feeling here. There's something very intuitive about how your body felt, some sort of resonance in how your body felt. And I think that that's so important. In my travels around the world and living in some other countries, one thing I really actually enjoyed was interacting with people where I didn't speak the same language, because there was a sense of their vibe that I got that was much more like the words were almost a distraction. And I'd say, especially interacting with strangers and stuff like that, it was so much easier for me to tune into the vibe because I only understood half of what they were saying. And that's a little bit of right here, like something that I'm getting uniquely today from this card is that something someone was saying was really different than what was actually going on. So we're sort of closing out this, not listening to the words, but just listening to the music, to the vibe, to the feeling that we had. We have the perfect key here. So something we have locked away something, perhaps the truth of how we felt about a situation. But there's a sense of your heart wants to open up and you're thinking about it. Again, I'm getting this heart-mind dichotomy. The mind is resisting. The mind is very clear that the best way to deal with what's happened in the past is just to lock things down, lock things away, don't deal with it. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. This is logical, very logical. Keep it safe, lock it up. Don't open up, don't talk about something. And that's the mind. Here's the heart right here, green representing our heart chakra. Our heart's got some keys and our heart is ready to go here. Very similar reading to some others. So I like the energy that's kind of flowing through these readings. But look at this, check this out. We've got liberty. So we've got this heart, we've got something, some sort of feeling, that's what I keep getting, is some sort of feeling that's been locked away, or some sort of feeling or something has been locked away due to past experience, right? Not unusual. That's a common response to past hurts and pain, is that we're gonna, well, let's just keep it safe then. Let's just keep it safe. We'll put it in deep storage. We'll keep it safe. But this wants to come out. Your heart's like, hello, let's figure out how we can open up a little more. So then we're having liberty, the same little cage here. And then it's open. And once it's open, you're free to go, but you may not realize that you're free to go. This is all about, you're free to go. You're free to go. There's this dream, this long-term dream. You're free to pursue, I think, your heart and what your heart wants to do. There's a sense of being free, but then there's also the sense with liberty of not even recognizing how free you are, and that you're free to go. That you have, there are a lot of birds here. I mean, obviously there are going to be birds in the crow deck, but in this other deck, we've got some birds here. So there's a sense of being, you're both capable of more freedom in your emotions, to tap into your emotions. You're more capable than ever before to access an emotional truth and a feeling here, a feeling about some sort of thing that's happened in the past. You're more able to access that, to not be, I think the mind may be distracting you from the genuine feelings, how you really feel about a situation. And so, but this Liberty card is all about needing to be coaxed. Like, yeah, the door is open now, or is opening. The door is opening and you are free. You're freer than you think. You have, I want to say also the mental capacity to figure out how to be free, right? I'm not dissing on the mind, because now it's coming back in. And the mental capacity to figure out how to open up about something, and you are free to open up. So to me, this has like some sort of real world technical opening. And then this has more of the mental opening of understanding that that door is open and understanding that you're free. You have the ability to be free, to move forward, and you also, but you may need some work to switch the mental gears to being free to move on, to free to pursue some sort of dream. There's something in your memory though that has, I mean, something in the past that's kind of locked you away. But so there's both like a reality trick and a mental trick that have to happen here. And then we have Night Ride, which is really interesting too. This is like people protecting each other, entities protecting each other. We have the elephant with exactly 0 night vision, but great memory, and a lot of familial loyalty. And then we have the owl here. This owl is trying to protect this other owl. The owl has the night vision, but because of this need to protect something, it's joined forces with the elephant. They're going through the dark, the fog. Nobody really knows the path. Nobody knows the way here, but they're helping each other out. So there's a strong sense of teamwork and help and protection, even though something is really difficult and you're traveling through some sort of difficulty. If you're opening up like past memory stuff, definitely like get some professional help on that, because that can be really difficult. But so that could be this Night Ride, this team that's helping to deal with this issue. So mostly I see there's a lot of solo cards here. We do have this team that's creating a distraction, but mostly we have you needing to make decisions kind of solo on your own, opening up that decision to open up the mental capacity to see the opportunity. But there's a sense of something in the past needing a different perspective. And I do feel like words have been quite a distraction. Words have been a distraction here. And we're trying to open up and tune in more to the heart. Maybe that's the different perspective we're getting, is what did the heart have to say? What did the heart think? This one wants to hide. All right. We have be bold, make the first move, Cardinal Moon. That doesn't necessarily mean be rash, be brash, but this is initiating something. Cardinal Moon, leadership, initiating. So you you may need to initiate something, and it may take a lot of courage for you to initiate something, especially if it's something like this, you know, where the past has wounded us, and it's going to take a lot of courage for you to initiate and begin something. We also have trust the niggle. What's the niggling feeling trying to tell you? I mean, I feel like we've addressed this a little bit here. There's something in your intuition that's more about feeling than thinking. Like, it's almost like the thoughts and the words of the thoughts are distractions from the actual feeling that you need to be tapping into. In this, I feel like in this memory or in something that's happened in the past, there's information there for you. You need to come in at it with a different perspective, less thinking about like, this is what they said, and more thinking about, this is how I felt. I felt very different, right? Than what was said. Leap, you go first, the universe will catch you. Again, we've got making a bold first move. You go first. So there's some sort of thing that you are initiating, taking that first step. We have first twice here from two different decks. You go first, be bold and make the first move. Okay, so taking a leap here, initiating something, starting something, beginning something, a risk here. There's definitely, both of these cards have a risky element to them. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay, if we weren't getting that. We've got meditate and contemplate. I will get to that one in a minute. But meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces, surrendering. There can also be like another person here that you're interacting with. You're sort of moving around. There is an unknown here with the first, with the new moon, we have sort of unknown. So meditate and contemplate. Again, what I'm loving here with meditate and contemplate is, to me, like the heart-mind connection, which we've already got. The heart-mind connection, the heart needing to open up, the mind needing to open up and see something from a different perspective or a different way, right? And then we also have this thing that's been protected here, this thing that we tried to protect but instead locked away. Your own heart, your own feelings, trying to protect your feelings, you may have numbed yourself to them. But this lullaby, this is feeling, right? So we're thinking and feeling, and I feel like that's really come up, and this is just reiterating that, is that we're using both aspects. We're thinking through something, we're also feeling something. We're listening to the words, understanding the words, we're also feeling something. These feelings then inform what we're going to say, how we're going to behave, how we're going to act. And then out in the real world, we're internalizing that, understanding, how do I feel about that? How do I actually feel? So it's the dance, it's the interplay between these two, between the heart and mind. They're flowing together. Confidence is your key to success. Yeah, you're going to need confidence if you're being bold. If you're going first, you're making the first move, you're going to need to have some confidence. Confidence in what you know, confidence in your ability to handle things, confidence in your own perspective, and that you're entitled to that perspective, and that you have the capacity to see things accurately and not get distracted by lies or just, the flashier things of life, the louder bits of life. So confidence in yourself, confidence in your intuition, confidence in your ability to handle things. We have Mintonkan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So a sense of wanting to connect, right? Which we get this here too, this wanting to connect. And this wanting this support and connection. So longing for home, belonging. So maybe feeling a little out of place, maybe feeling like this is out of familiar territory, and wishing, for a time when things felt more familiar or safer. And then we have North Node, South Node. I think everybody's gotten a node in this last little batch of them. North Node. And we all know how much I adore the North Node, South Node work in astrology. So step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So this is the future, stepping out of your comfort zone. So we've already got leap, be bold, make the first move, and you're going to need confidence for this. So there's something, your intuition is telling you it's time. It is time. You are free to go. You're getting in touch with this intuition. You're using your mind. There is a mind connection. Like your intuition's telling you something and your brain's going to have to figure out what this means. So I love this step out of your comfort zone. It's not actually asking you to step out of your comfort zone. It's actually asking you to leap out of your comfort zone and be bold, make the first move. No comfort zone allowed here. You're going to be wishing you were in your comfort zone, longing for a comfort zone, but you're definitely out of your comfort zone. You do have the capacity to deal with this. Stepping out of your comfort zone. So north node, south node. My current metaphor for these is south node is you drove your car to the airport. Rest of the trip, you're going to take in an airplane. So this is getting in the airplane, stepping out of your comfort zone. Yeah, okay, you've been driving for 4 hours. You've gotten used to it. It's the mode of transportation you do every day. Well, now we're going to fly. It's a little bit different. You get used to this too, but it's a different way of moving and addressing a situation. So you may have addressed a situation, same old, but this comfort zone isn't going to work anymore, and you know it. You know that the comfort zone is now uncomfortable. You need to be bold, make the first move. You go first, the universe will catch you. So it'll meet you halfway, right? That which we fear the most can meet us halfway. That was a song from the 90s, I think. Step out of your comfort zone, north node. So you are definitely being asked to step out of your comfort zone. I think you're already out of your comfort zone. I think that you already don't feel comfortable with where you're at. So you might as well just move forward. You're already, in a way, being kicked out of your comfort zone. So there's a sense of, okay, all right. My comfort zone is no longer available. So you might as well just embrace this discomfort zone. So being bold, making the first move, if you might as well just leap into the discomfort zone rather than trying to tiptoe, because the comfort zone isn't, you're very clear that this isn't going to work anymore. You can't just keep something locked away. And you are free to go. You are at liberty to step out of your comfort zone. All right. If that resonated with you, Capricorn, join me over on Vimeo for the rest of the story. If not, see you guys in a couple weeks.